Welcome everybody into a new edition of Sports Extra Uncut, our affiliate to our main show on Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. Sports Extra, where you can watch here on Twitch like you are right now or on 90.7. Today we're going to have a full list of guys. Absolutely, my man. Got to introduce him. Joe, the lawn, more as always. And then to my left, a new character has approached, I guess you could say.
Like Pokemon.
Exactly.
Just like,
we have a new guest, new man, part of the sports team here at WZIS. Introduce yourself, man.
My name is Colin McMahon. I'm a sports major here at Indiana State. Big football guy. I'm a Colts fan. I watch a lot of college basketball as well. Go Hoosiers.
Yeah, don't go Hoosiers.
Ew,
no, we don't like
pretty
that.
gross.
Nah, you gotta leave, bro. We gotta bounce.
This is ISU,
Yeah, exactly.
not IU.
Pack them
I
up.
feel you.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But
yeah, we happy to have you, man.
yeah, absolutely. You're gonna see Colin a lot more here. Just as last week we had Aaron on his first time, and now Colin joining. Obviously, me and Joe can't stay here forever. We have to grow. We have to go away sometime. The unfortunate, yeah, it's tragic news right there. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun today. There's a lot of crazy stuff that's happened in the world of sports, whether it be NBA but first we're gonna talk about NFL. Huge things happening. I mean, but before I like to get all into that, I want to talk. How's everyone's weekend? How was it? Everyone doing all right? How's classes?
I mean, this week is probably going to be my most chill week this, November in general. So, I'm trying to, take it in, smell the roses, sit back, relax, grab some snacks, all that stuff.
There ain't no roses in November.
I mean, hey, imagination. And plus, Walgreens.
You're not wrong.
Shout out to them. So,
Colin?
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's the complete opposite. My 8-week courses are pouring it on me. Trying to get it in for the last 3 weeks. These 16-week courses continue to pour it on. But yeah, I had a fantasy win, so I mean, I guess that's
exactly. That's all that matters.
I went 3-0 in mine.
I'm doing great, man.
I'm saying I got 7-2, top of the division.
Wife
fantasy.
left me, the kids gone, my dog died. But hey, top of fantasy right now. Yes,
we took that dog.
We got our priorities straight.
I'm trying to get the pot.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, in my fantasy league, everybody, a lot of crap talking all week. We don't take it very lightly. There is a punishment this year too. So.
Ooh, what's the punishment?
So I mean, it's either between you can't join the league next year,
or
if you want to do that one way you can get back in is if you have to go to the stadium of your favorite team, and take a pretty good picture out there in front of the stadium. I would probably say, maybe shirt off or something.
Yeah, okay. It has to be approved by
yes.
the council. I got you.
I see.
Yeah.
We should ask Ralph.
I like that. Ralph, hey, shout out to
Ralph
him.
Council.
Hey.
Has he been on? He's been on this show, right?
He has to be. No way. Because I know he's at least been on Sports Extra.
He's definitely. I don't think he's been on Uncut. That kind of blows my mind. He's usually busy around this time. Because he has work.
Because he has work.
And he had class right before us. So.
Shout out Ralph, man. Shout out our boy. Had a fantastic call last night.
He did, yeah. Shout out Joe. Not you. I don't know why.
I mean, shout out me.
I meant to say Ralph. Or I meant to say Zach.
Zach.
Shout out Zach. Shout out Blake. Ralph. Chloe.
Brendan, who's on the
Brendan, who's on the board up. Colin. Shout out me, man. Shout out me.
Shout out WZIS and the sports crew, man. We out here, man. We are out here.
I'm just going to say. Say what?
Spitting the heat.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we could go through the whole thing. Sports, news. Sports is easily top one.
Easy. Hey, don't tell Rich. We out here. Let's get it.
All right, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's go through the recaps of the NFL in Week 9. It's kind of shocking that we're already at this point.
It's crazy.
Time is definitely not on our side. Thursday Night Football. This is one Houston-Philadelphia game you probably didn't watch because the World Series just ended, and shout out to the Houston Astros, who are now World Series champions. I don't know. What do you feel about that, Joe?
I didn't know what a strike was until a couple of months ago.
I forgot that you know
So, hey, but, I was rooting for the Phillies and stuff like that, because I like cheesesteak.
Yeah. Hey, one thing that Philadelphia can go for, they're undefeated. Eagles are undefeated.
Facts.
They might only lose a game or two this season.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Nick Sirianni over there making some
Howie Roseman.
Big moves.
Big moves.
Howie Roseman is one of the best minds in football. Eagles won that one over the Texans 29-17. We're going to talk about this game a lot. The Colts and the Patriots. A lot has happened after just 48 hours of this game. Patriots just mauled the Colts 26-3. We'll come back to it. Packers and Lions. This one a little bit shocking as well. We got to talk about this. Aaron Rodgers, what's going on? Lions and Dan Campbell 15-9 over Green Bay. Chargers and the Falcons, a little close, I guess, a little too close. Chargers win that one 20-17. Then we go to the Bills and Jets. The Jets took that one. Also, something I want to talk about is just how good the Jets have been all of a sudden. I mean, they have the players, they have the talent. It's just
for sure.
Never in my lifetime have I seen a really good Jets team besides maybe 2010. So they took the dub over Josh Allen and the Bills 2017. Vikings, only one loss on the season, 20-17 over the Commanders. Kirk Cousins is out wilding. He is a dad that needs to know to go home. Panthers and the Bengals, Joe Mixon, shout out him, 42-21. Jaguars and the Raiders. Raiders just can't find anything going for them whatsoever. They're turning into Atlanta. They've blown 3 leads this season. They win 27-20. The Jacksonville Jaguars did. Dolphins and the Bears, probably one of the best. And I hate to say this because one of my friends listens and he's a Bears fan. Justin Fields is a great quarterback in Chicago. He's really turning up.
Really is.
But it did not end their way. They did lose to the Dolphins and Tua, who's technically undefeated when playing full games, 35-32. Seahawks, Cardinals, Geno Smith doing his thing, 31-21. They swept Arizona.
Didn't write back, man.
Didn't write back. Absolute legend quote right there. I should get that tattooed on me.
I love it. Facts.
This game, very boring. The 2 previous Super Bowl winners in the Rams and Bucks. Bucks take the win down at the last second of the game. I mean, the Rams forced a stop against the Bucks late in that one, but they gave one more shot to Tom Brady. You can't give him too many, no matter how old he is. 16-13 dub. Titans and the Chiefs, very interesting Sunday night game. Went into overtime. We'll talk about this one probably in a little bit as well. Chiefs win. Derrick Henry is just carrying Tennessee on his shoulders and his back. Someone please check on him. 20-17, Chiefs win. And then Sunday Night Football, Saints suck. Ravens win 27-13.
Not a whole lot to say about that one, huh?
No, I don't know if there really is. Maybe. We'll think about it.
Lamar Jackson did his thing.
Lamar Jackson.
Exactly.
Hey, pay him. That's all I got to say. Just pay him.
Pay my mans, man.
If I'm Lamar Jackson, I ain't playing.
I mean, he's still making good money.
He's still making good money.
He ain't getting no respect.
That is true because, I feel like if you're a front office at that point, it's like, you playing this well. You have, I think you're top 5 in power rankings right now. You're just playing your tail off. You've been good. You already won an MVP and everything. At that point, it's just kind of play the man. But, yeah.
Lamar, I mean, he's still, 25, 26? He's a great quarterback, young guy. He's he's someone you want to build your franchise around. That is how Baltimore has kind of done it ever since. I mean, look at Joe Flacco, look at Lamar. Completely 2 different rosters right now.
Exactly, for sure. And here we are.
One thing we got to discuss, though. First things first, we're going to talk about it. This is where we usually talk about it on Sports Extra, where we talk about, the local stuff here on campus at Indiana State and then the pros for the Colts and Pacers. But this is too big a news to not just keep for one show. I'll say that right now. The Colts, breaking news, have kicked out Frank Reich after 5 seasons, 40-33-1 record in as the Colts head coach. He's gone. And even weirder breaking news, Jeff Saturday, former longtime player of the Colts, he was center.
He was center,
yeah. Yeah, and he is now the interim head coach. I mean, guys, your initial first thoughts of this. I'll start with Colin. Yeah. What do you have to say about all this stuff going on?
So, being a hometown Colts fan, I've been watching the Colts since, I was 4 or 5, so I was around for the Manning eras, and one thing I know about the Colts is that we sling the ball and we punch on defense. And what I haven't seen from Frank Reich since he's been here as a coach is aggressive offensiveness and a defense that comes out and eats you. Yeah, we've had pretty good defenses in the past, 5 seasons, like you said, with Frank. But they're not the defenses that you're scared to play. You got to change your whole scheme around. So I feel like Frank never really brought an identity to our team. So, I can see why the fans are getting upset, and I also can see why he has never made an on-time judgment call. He did not make that Matt Ryan call.
You're not wrong.
Irsay made that Matt Ryan call.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's we need somebody that's going to be here to make the big big decisions. And is Jeff Saturday as an interim coach going to make those? No, he is not. He's only an interim coach for the like the end of the
season. But it can turn into him being the normal coach.
He could do that.
And that's really TBA,
Because he's in the NFL PA. He's around football. He never left football when he left. He was a broadcaster. He coached like high school football back in his hometown. So it's like he's been around football, but can he adjust the Colts to where they need to be?
Exactly.
I just have a question. I have a question. Why? I understand why in a way, but why Jeff Saturday? Why not stay in-house? I mean, you're technically staying in-house.
Yeah, I mean, you're in-house.
Why not just go next man up like DC? Why would you make this move unless you had something planned?
Again, it's just an enigma. Like this whole front office and all the decisions that they've made for the last felt like 3 seasons now.
Can someone check on Jim Irsay?
Exactly.
What is going on?
Hey, I'm not gonna say it, but like Jim Irsay been in some wild stuff in his day. He
might
be on it, but I'm just saying like I don't know what's happening. It's just like if you were to fire, it was a plan or even on the table a few weeks back to fire their head coach. Why would you fire the offensive coordinator first? That just never really made sense to me because like that's an easy transition into that role. But, from the reports that we're seeing, it was just like he was safe. So, like, I just didn't really understand that. And, I mean, like, Jeff Saturday, he feels like more of a coach that's just going to, like, keep the status quo.
The morale booster.
Yeah, exactly. And that might be it because it didn't feel like Frank Wright was ever really that assertive like, get the guys together and just go out there. You know what I mean?
Never once have I seen that.
Exactly.
If I could have Dan Campbell on my coaching staff, I don't care how much money it costs, I'd pay that man. You know why? Because he goes out every day with a team that might never win, but he's going out there and he's fighting.
You see what he said after his win? He's like, man, I just want a beer.
Exactly.
Dan Campbell can have me run through a whole brick wall, bro. I just be listening to his stuff after games, before games, and I just be wanting to die for this man. And I don't even like the city of Detroit.
But here's another avenue I was thinking. Like, so you fire Frank. Say you don't fire your offensive coordinator, right? Say Brady's still in the system.
Yeah.
You fire Frank Wright, or do you even feel comfortable with moving Brady to head coach? Like, that dude was a quarterback coach for 2.5 years before making his first year as an offensive coordinator.
At least he's on the coaching staff.
I felt like, it depends. Again,
it's tough.
The thing that's tough, that's a really good point. The thing that's tough is, like, I don't know the direction of the Colts right now. It's like, it feels like they're built to compete based on how much you played some of these guys in the offseason. However, it feels like there's no real passion behind it. No. And it would just be such a disgusting taste in the mouth of everyone if we just kind of like flat out tank or just like be just subpar. It just feels like so sour and bitter, like not even sweet, just straight up bitter, disgusting.
Something is not going on or going well in the city of Indianapolis. And this organization confuses me.
Yes.
I thought the Saints were bad. But here we are.
we have the most expensive offensive line. And only 3 of them are actually getting paid. Kelly, Quentin, and Smith. We have Pryor, who can't chew gum and walk at the same time. And then a rookie on as left tackle, Renneman or something. Like, I mean, he's just there to hold a spot in place at this point because you can't play with 4 linemen.
That's true. That's right.
So you're back to what you're saying about the identity. Like, we're paying them all that money, and our identity has been the last 2 or 3 years of defense because we can't have a here
It's funny you say that because they had 5 and they still allowed 9 sacks.
And it's insane.
Yes. And where'd Andrew Luck at? 5 don't matter.
Out here just vibing, bro. Just vibing while we suffering.
Yes.
Like, man.
Still bringing in that $145 million he signed in 2012.
Man. He still is bringing in that money?
Irsay never took it away.
That is
the money
so
when he retired.
funny. Oh, yeah, I did remember seeing that.
He did give him the money. Yeah, he gave him the money when he retired. He was like wanting to own up to it or something.
We're still paying on him for 2 more years. And then we got the high expensive O-line. And you got Darius, who we just paid. You know?
I don't even know when, I don't even want to think about when Jonathan Taylor has his contract coming up.
But, you got to pay him.
But you have to. But I mean, like, you don't. I think they're probably going to do a thing where they just try not to just, like, go every, like, seeming route to just not pay my mans. But let's be honest, like, Jonathan Taylor is, even though he's having a down season, I feel like his is just more of a trickle-down effect from, like, just the lack of just production in general.
Yeah.
From, like, the offense.
This isn't a Jonathan Taylor issue.
Yeah, I mean, like, Jonathan Taylor plays good.
It's reached over to him.
And plus injuries as well. So.
True.
If I was Chris Ballard, I'm paying him after this season he had this year. It's because he's not going to expect. I mean, he still had a good year last year, but he's not going to expect as much as Derrick Henry's going to be expecting after having
most definitely
back 2,000 yards rushing because he's getting to 2,000.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
The Colts have been considered Super Bowl contenders, even with Andrew Luck, I mean, you go out and get Phillip Rivers. That worked out, sort of, kind of, didn't really. And then Carson Wentz was a whole disaster in its own. That could be from the front office, the organization. Jim Irsay didn't want him. And then you get Matt Ryan. Carson Wentz looks like Peyton Manning compared to Matt Ryan.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, and then just looking back, like, dang, we gave up all them picks just for some two-watch QB. But I will say about Carson Wentz is like, Carson Wentz wasn't bad for us.
Everyone wants to paint the picture that he was.
Yeah, exactly. Until just the utter collapse, and that couldn't just all be blamed on him. It's just like we had all them Pro Bowlers last year, and it didn't even look like we had any by the end of the season. So I can't really put it all on like Carson Wentz. I did think that there should have been a change, but like everybody was hyping up the Matty Ice acquisition, and I was just like, you know what I mean?
I knew it from the beginning. I knew he wasn't going to do this.
We need a mobile quarterback with the way our line is right now.
Fair, very fair.
Like Sam gets in there and immobilizes decently. Like he's really not an A-rated. He's mid,
man.
Let me throw out this idea for you guys. I saw this on TikTok of all places.
Talk to me.
So there's this guy, very famous former Colt who kind of does his own thing in the media. You probably heard of him, Pat McAfee. Good friends with quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Would you somehow, in some way, if it's possible, former teammate as well with Jeff Saturday in Green Bay, is Aaron Rodgers going to get here? Is that a possibility next season?
Do I even want Aaron Rodgers?
Do they have the draft capital? Is he impressing us?
I don't. No more QB trades for they have.
You can't keep Sam Ehlinger as your quarterback.
I understand that, but if we trade for another old QB after a tough season, I'm going to lose my mind with the Colts. Yeah. It's not because it's Aaron Rodgers. Because on paper, say this was before, say Andrew Luck just left, and then Aaron Rodgers, say that even the Aaron Rodgers now was available for trade, I'm like, yeah, might as well do it. You know what I mean? Just try to.
But they're going to expect a lot, and you've already traded top 3 round draft picks for Wentz, Wentz and Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just at that point, it's just kind of can we just reset? Just reset. Can we just get somebody in that's going to be just solid? I know that's tough, but
Jacoby Brissett, bring him back.
At this point,
my buddy's a Cleveland fan. He goes, "Oh my God, we're gonna have Jacoby as our quarterback." I said, "Hey, you believe in Brissett because I'm telling you, he'll do anything he'll do to make get a win
for sure.
You're not wrong. He's a great leader.
He's gonna get you a win. He's a vocal. Imagine if we had Geno right now. Oh my God.
We have 2 weeks until the return of Deshaun Watson as well, so. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out.
Interesting to see that.
Final thoughts on this whole thing that's happened and transpired from the Colts. I think Jeff Saturday, great man, awesome guy. It's a cute story, like you said yesterday. Seeing him return. He's never really left, let's be honest. He's always had his finger in this organization, and talking about it. And he's always been aligned with them. I just don't know how it'll turn out. Playoffs, that's not even a thing. They should just win a game. It's game by game at this point. It's interesting to see, though.
For sure.
Now let's transition into who we just talked about, Aaron Rodgers. He hasn't been playing at all to the capability of Aaron Rodgers in the past. Ever since, this whole season and really since the whole Devontae tragedy that has gone through this team, he's just been playing differently. This isn't 2010. This isn't 2013. Aaron Rodgers. This isn't even when he won the MVP just 2 years ago. Aaron Rodgers. He went 24 for 43, 291 yards, 3 interceptions against a Detroit team though.
And
2 of them in the red zone.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's even worse. He's never been this bad in the red zone before.
Talk to me, Colin.
So I don't know. I was watching the game, and when I seen Aaron Rodgers making throwing the ball, it didn't look like he was throwing it what he had. It looked like he was just trying to fit it in the numbers. And that's what he did in the goal line that one time. He threw it 10 yards short. First round draft pick. Aiden Hutchinson will take that. He will take that.
Good for him.
It's actually just. I don't know. I just don't understand because, again, we were talking about, because what is this, the 3rd loss in a row, and I believe there were bad losses, too. Bad losses, 3rd in a row, because, what was it, the Jets or whatever, or the Commanders that they lost to?
They lost to the Jets.
The Jets.
In Green Bay.
And then, Detroit.
What's going on, man?
I don't know what's happening.
These are easy wins.
You know, and again, we can go back to the wide receiver personnel, but at this point, you know, when you're losing against bad teams like that, when Aaron Rodgers, your QB, it's just kind of like.
I mean, Allen Lazard is not like super bad. Like he's
not bad.
He's above mid. He's not great, but he's above mid. You got the Dobbs kid over there. I mean, he's a big receiver now.
For sure.
Like, you just tossed it. I mean, you just tossed it up to Devontae. I mean, the receiver's got to make his play. I mean,
crazy.
but he's not even getting the ball to where the receivers can get to it. He's just trying to get rid of his hands to blame it on somebody else.
For sure. And then it's just kind of like it might just get bad to worse. I mean, like if you look at the next like few games, you have the Cowboys next. You have the Titans. That, they're going to put up at least a little bit of a fight. You have the Eagles. You have the Bears, and then you have the Rams.
They might lose to the Bears.
Dolphins. Like,
that's how bad they are.
Exactly. Like people were like joking, like this is the first time in like 40 years that the Bears have a better quarterback than Green Bay. Like man, like hey, listen, there's an argument.
I really enjoy watching Fields.
I really do. I was super high on him even when he was drafted. Looking at him in the preseason, I was like, yeah, he's going to be something real nice.
And what they're doing now over there is just like building that offense up, so when the offseason comes, they build that defense back to where they like kind of like an identity thing. They would come back to it
a little bit.
Like just building that defense identity.
I like to think Aaron Rodgers will fix this because we know how good he is and can be. Like it's Aaron freaking Rodgers. Like
come on, y'all.
I think he'll definitely cap out his career at Green Bay. I don't think he'll ever move on.
Yeah, I feel like
you don't think he'll leave?
I feel like we've been talking about him leaving for like so long now. It's just like if it would have happened, it would have.
I was sold on it last year when I saw Devontae left. That caught me off guard.
That is true, but I feel like if it didn't happen then, it's probably not going to happen soon because I feel like that would be the perfect opportunity. But like Aaron Rodgers is just kind of.
What are they doing with Jordan Love?
I mean, the thing is, Rodgers. Okay, so Rodgers said on the Pat McAfee show, he said I'd never planned and I never had intentions to leave Green Bay, but my holdout was only for Devontae. And what by that was he was trying to wait for Devontae to take a pay cut to stay, so that he could figure out how much money he was actually going to be getting. Yeah. So like for him at this point in his career too, he's got the MVPs. I mean, does he have a ring?
He has one ring.
Yeah. So he's got one ring. He's got 2 MVPs or more. And now, he's sitting back thinking, like, I'm Green Bay's quarterback. Like, I'm the Green Bay quarterback.
I'm Green Bay.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Making the money.
Making money, have the accolades, already a legend. Like, why leave? I respect that. But at the same time, it's kind of like, also, can we talk about how, like, the Green Bay Packers went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers and have two rings to show for it? Can we talk about that?
It's interesting for sure.
Ain't that crazy?
They deserve. They need. Well, I wouldn't say deserve more, but there should.
There should be more.
Be more of a fight.
The thing is, we never saw Aaron Rodgers play against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
That's true too.
So it's not like it was somebody like bumping him off every year too.
Like an absolute legend,
because that's who bumped us off every year.
Exactly, facts.
Because we had to pay it through Tom Brady.
Aaron Rodgers, because he just couldn't be 49ers. He lost to them 4 times in like the past decade.
Yes,
insane.
Playoffs.
Absolutely insane.
Jimmy G had his number.
Jimmy G, Colin Kaepernick, like whoever, Alex Smith. I don't know.
Man, Jimmy G won it, man. I want a career like Jimmy G.
Good for him.
Stay with a job. I love it.
Trey Lance, that's a whole other thing. That's interesting to talk about.
Is he out for like the season?
He's out for the season. Yeah.
Dang, that's kind of tough. Because he looked pretty solid when he was like playing and stuff.
I wouldn't even know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you didn't think so?
He didn't impress me in any way.
He looked solid to me. He looked solid. He looked like a quarterback of the future for sure. For 70.
It's tough to say. Trey Lance, I mean, there's still question marks. I see where you're coming from, though.
There was definitely question marks for sure. But
I can't base it off just 2 games,
Fair.
If the 49ers want to be safe, they'll keep Jimmy G and then trade Trey Lance for probably draft composition, a backup. You know what I'm saying? Just to get him out of here and brings. Because if Jimmy G's going to be for 2 or 3 years,
that whole issue is like Shanahan. Like he doesn't. He wants Lance. That's why they got Lance in the first place.
I think his offense works better for Lance. Now he's got
that's exactly
McCaffrey and deep. He can run Debo in the backfield too.
He wants. Yeah, when Lance is healthy and he's cheap, he just has to produce. He doesn't want Jimmy G. Jimmy G doesn't really want to be here.
Yeah,
to be honest,
that's true. Where does Jimmy G want to go though?
You got to look around the league and just see. I mean, where do I got a good chance to start? Like, at this point, it's not even where can I win.
I'm thinking that too. Like
Atlanta, New York.
I like the Cincinnati boy though, Atlanta. I like they have Mariota playing, but I like Desmond Ritter.
I don't know.
I haven't seen any film on him. How's he playing?
He hasn't played at all. It's just Mariota's show right now. Yeah. Mariota mania running through him.
Yeah. I watched enough of Mariota in Tennessee, man.
Yeah. Those Tennessee teams with Mariota, low-key kind of fun to watch. Like, low-key kind of fun because he plays with so much passion. You just have to respect it.
Absolutely.
Man, he'll die for his team. Whatever team he's playing for, he'd die for it. I love it. I love that energy for sure.
Transitioning now. Jets.
And
the Bills.
Yes, sir.
Bills took an L to the New York Jets all of a sudden. What's up with that?
Too much sauce.
That's exactly why.
Too much sauce, man.
Sauce is forever.
And Sauce had 9 pass deflections and a pick.
I don't know what the Commanders were thinking taking Derek Stingley over this man. He is too good to pass up. Everyone knew it from Cincinnati. It's because he came from Cincinnati. That's it. If it was Alabama, he'd be going number 1.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, for me, I mean, well, it's kind of hard for, person at his position to go number 1. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
No, you're not. First corner, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. But, I think what we're seeing now from the Jets is just so refreshing and exciting.
It's weird.
Because I don't think it's weird because think of how many, people they picked up in the draft leading up to this moment, to, today. And especially they draft because, I remember when Zach Stidham for WZIS, shout out to him, he, came in, right after draft and he was like, Jets won the draft. Jets just run the draft.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah, exactly.
Giants won the draft. There they are.
Exactly. Here they are. I'm just saying, really, it started from there. Just really good drafting from them and just good, patience.
It's not normal, though.
I don't think it's not normal because, the reason they had all these high draft picks is just because they've been bad. But, now it's just feeling like it's all just coming together.
They've been bad. They shipped off Jamal Adams. True. They got a lot of picks for him.
Mm-hmm.
They shipped off
Seattle. He's hurt. He's not playing. They're playing Jamal Adams and L.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing better without him.
And the Jets won that trade. You know, they got draft picks. They won that trade. But when I would say beginning of the year when they lost Tucker and Breece Hall.
Yeah.
You have people stepping up. You got Jermaine Johnson, boy from Last Chance U, Florida State. He's coming in. He's making plays.
You went to Last Chance U?
Yes, sir. His first 2 seasons.
What, EMCC?
Mm-hmm.
Gang.
Yep. And then you had the backup running back, Michael Carter. He come in playing really well. But you had some quarterback controversy in there. It might have probably been one of the reasons they dropped a game or 2. But they look like a team. They look really good.
And Garrett Wilson, you just seen him just in flashes, a couple of games here. If he puts it together on a week by week basis.
You were telling me I have him on my fantasy.
Exactly.
I've never started him on a week that he's popped off.
Man, it felt like because I have him in another fantasy too. I just
started him this weekend.
Yeah, 1 week he had 30. And that was the 1 week that I had him started, and I started him for 3 weeks after that, and then he put up duds. But if he just puts it together, just a little bit, just string together that consistency, and that comes from the quarterback and stuff, and getting to understand just the nuances of just communication and stuff. But once that comes together, he's just gonna be nice. Oh, he's just gonna be nice.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I think they got really something moving. If I was a Jets fan,
I'd be so excited.
I'd be excited.
Man.
100% there with you, man.
But let's talk about the Bills. What happened?
Yeah, what's going on with the Buffalo Bills? I mean, Josh Allen said it himself. I mean, when you have a quarterback playing like bleep, it's a 4-letter word that starts with S. He kind of did. It's just weird because Josh Allen never plays that kind of style. And I love the fact that he can own up to it. That's what leaders are all about. Accountability is one of the major things that you need in any professional job. And if it's a player to this caliber leading your organization, he's got to know. He didn't play good. It was against a young Jets team. This defense is one of the best in the National Football League. Josh Allen just didn't have it today.
Yeah, and I think it probably was because it's kind of hard for you to go from this MVP level of play to playing like this, especially against a team like the Jets. Again, they're a solid team, but still they're the Jets.
Right.
But it did come out a few days ago that he is being evaluated for UCL injury, an elbow injury.
He says it's very minor. I don't think it's going to affect him too much.
But that's what kind of players do. They always kind of downplay their injuries a little bit until the doctor get out and be like,
True.
Yeah, you're going to have to miss a Sunday.
They don't want to play. They don't want to miss.
Exactly. They don't. So I don't know. It might have been something to that. Like normally when I see a performance like that, where somebody just drops off like that, or to a team that they shouldn't have, I'm normally kind of ringing the injury bell in my alarm a little bit. But like it's nothing too like severe just yet. Well, but again, we'll have to see.
That elbow, I mean, it's been shown in history before. I think Jimmy G, I think he's had the same injury before with the elbow. Yeah. When you have an injury with your elbow, it might not show then, but it will show.
It will eventually.
It'll eventually show.
Hopefully, it's not the beginning of what is going to happen to him. I mean, Josh Allen, MVP candidate.
Like, how do you trade for Nyheim Hines and only give him one target?
Interesting for sure.
Very interesting. Like it just.
What are they doing?
They don't have any kind of running backs back here.
They just split it up. Like, I mean, Devin Singletary. I mean, James Cook. I don't know if he even plays that much.
James Cook. See, that's what I'm saying. They got
some guys.
They got some weapons.
They got some weapons.
They don't use them.
They don't even use them.
Yeah. I think it's more because, like, Josh Allen is such a, he's a rushing threat, honestly. And so, just how he's built and everything and just his style of play is just, like, where it's always an option for him to run. So it's like they might not work it into the playbook as much just to prioritize running because you're just going to get those rush yards just because Josh Allen's your QB.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I just feel like it should be a little bit more I would decrease Josh Allen's workload a little bit when it comes to the rushing and stuff.
I'd say
because rushing, like throwing and all that stuff, especially when he has like an injury like this, I would just decrease it. Make use of like Nyheim Hines and all the people that you got and all the weapons that you have that haven't been utilized as much.
I mean, the AFC East now, one of the best divisions in football now because the Patriots won. I mean, they're at positive. They're 5-4. The Jets here 6-3. Bills 6-2, and obviously the Dolphins very, very even throughout. I mean, the outlier, of course, I think is the Patriots and that's kind of weird to say.
But I mean, like they all positive. They all have.
It's impressive.
It's very impressive. Like shout out to them. I mean, like the Dolphins.
This is what the AFC West was supposed to be.
Was supposed to be. Yeah.
Fair.
Has the Dolphins and Bills played yet?
Dolphins and Bills. I think they played once this season. I do believe it was the Dolphins who took that win.
There's no way, bro.
I'm pretty sure.
Cap.
I'll look at it. You know what? If you want to call Cap, I will call your bluff. And we're going to find out due to my friend Google.
Those are two teams that, I mean.
Boom.
They did win.
Week 4, September 25th. Miami beats Buffalo 21-19.
In Miami?
Oh, you was soda.
Was it in Miami?
It was in Miami.
All right, so when they play Buffalo here coming up these next couple weeks when it gets really chilly.
Exactly, facts. That's such a man. I remember when I played varsity football, man. Like
Joe.
August weather.
Back in my day.
I would have been in the league right now if it wasn't for my knee. I'm just saying. Like, just give me the bug. Like, I'm just saying. Like,
feel that.
But like, I'm saying, like, August weather, that heat hit, boy, and then even transitioning into that, kind of October weather, like. Ooh, I've had so many like cold, and then like imagine going from that where you in Buffalo, and then just immediately like a day you just go to that humidity, go to that heat.
That's what kind of people are talking about right now. It's just like that team's doing really, really good. They're in a tough division. They're positive, but here's the thing though: can they make it in the playoffs in that wild card game going to Buffalo? Can they make it in the atmosphere going to Be-More? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean that's what you have to think about. Can you throw that ball in the cold? I don't know.
That's all it is.
It's the scary part of sports, really.
For sure.
The weather is just in football
different.
The
humidity, the altitude. It's just like there's so many factors that you have to play in. But that's a part of it. That's just life. Sometimes you're just not going to have as much as we want to fake it. We're not just going to have just even playing field when it comes to sports. There's always just going to be something that's going to be working for you or working against you. But that's just how it is and stuff. And really, it's the greats that overcome those types of challenges. Sure.
I mean, just emotional challenges as well. We've seen a lot of people have those issues. So
for sure.
We're looking at the Vikings game here. Kirk Cousins. I said it, and I said it at the beginning of the year. I don't like Kirk Cousins. I don't think he's good. I guess he heard me because he's decided to light it up, and he's acting like someone's dad that needs to come home. Because he's out with all the young kids and he's trying to stay hip.
Chains on and
you see Adam Schefter dressed like him on Monday Night Football?
Oh, I did see that. What is happening? I was so dumbfounded when I saw that on Twitter. I was what is bro doing?
If this thing happened last month around this time, he'd be the perfect candidate for a Halloween costume.
That's
for sure. You ask how Kirk Cousins is doing his thing, but you gotta look. He's got J. Jeff.
It just makes sense.
Adam Thielen. He just traded to get T.J. Hawkinson, who had 9 for 70. You know, 9 for 9 for 70, 9 targets, 9 receptions. If you got Jamar Chase out there running wild deep, you got TJ catching balls short like that, and you got Dalvin Cook moving the chains.
Ooh.
You can't really beat a team that can move the ball like that, especially
it's
in the
tough.
NFC.
It is tough. And some of the catches, did you see that catch by Justin Jefferson? Oh my gosh. Justin Jefferson's special, man.
You see the goggles he had pregame?
I loved it.
What was that a reference to something?
Yeah, what show or movie is that?
It was a Disney movie, Spy Kids.
Oh,
Spy Kids.
Spy Kid goggles.
That's so
Someone's
funny.
on
That's
Twitter,
so
they were
funny.
saying that he looked like Christian, a wrestler from the 90s.
Oh, man. You would get that reference.
I
That
would.
went
I
over
would.
all the way over my head.
That's the atmosphere they have in Minnesota right now.
They're happy.
Swag out, and we're gonna come, beat the brakes off.
Yeah, play together. And I love that. You know what I mean? This is what, a good franchise looks like. You know what I mean? You just kind of get pieces together. Eventually you're going to draft somebody that you really like. You get a quarterback that you trust, and then you just build around those pieces and stuff like that.
They did not trust him last year.
They didn't trust him. They didn't trust him.
I think he's fooling us.
But still, you get somebody that you're comfortable with. You know what I mean?
I couldn't mess up with these weapons.
Okay. Now, let's calm down now. But still, fair.
Here, Dalvin. Here, Justin Jefferson.
True, I got
Make me look good real quick.
For sure. And definitely, Kirk Cousins is not one of these top quarterbacks. That's just not what Kirk Cousins is. Yeah, he's mid.
Very
but,
mid.
Hey, you work with, the hand that you dealt. And then you get, the mid quarterback weapons, make them look really good, and then, who knows? They might win a bowl game.
I agree.
I feel that. Bengals and Panthers. Joe Mixon. Joe Burrow. Everyone was counting them out. They very, very bad starts at the beginning of the season, but here we are now, and they're insane.
Quick PSA.
Let me hear it.
If you had Joe Mixon on your fantasy,
yeah,
I hate you.
I have one of them.
Now, where's the camera? I hate you. I dislike you. I wish nothing but the worst this week for you.
It's because Joe had him twice. Against him.
I hate it.
You lost both, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Answer my question.
Yeah, well, they didn't have to play too hard. They got a QB carousel over there in Carolina.
Exactly.
That makes me happy.
It's a trend. They start one guy, and they'll pull one guy at halftime. The other guy comes in, goes absolutely insane. But, it's still the time they don't win the game.
For sure. It's just, why? I get why, but still, it's just at this point, just kind of have consistency. If you would have found something by now, in one of the quarterbacks, you would have found it.
If not, drop one so we can pick one up.
It's bro, do us a favor, man.
I get it.
Dude, oh, Lord have mercy. But yeah, with the Carolina, I don't know what's happening.
No one knows.
It's just kind of they just need to pick a direction to go to and just go for it. That's
I think
one
they
of the worst
figured
things
that
to do in
out,
sports.
and they're just gonna tank.
Yeah, that's what they should do. They should have had that shit from stuff from the jump. You know what I mean? So moving forward, I have no idea what the Carolina Panthers are gonna do, but who knows?
Trading CMC. Getting rid of they had a lot of offers for Brian Burns.
Listen, he gonna get some offers, man. Shoot, if he was
the Rams offered him Cam Akers, second round, third round this next coming year, and a second or fourth year after. They said no.
Facts.
Jaguars Raiders. Shout out to the Jags.
Travis Etienne.
He's a dog.
ETN season, man.
That's what I'm saying. I had him in the 5th round of fantasy this year.
So, me too.
I've never seen a worse, honestly, quarterback than Derek Carr. Derek Carr is playing. He didn't even do that bad. It's just what is going on with this team. The Raiders should be winning. They should be 6-2, not 2-6.
Okay. You have to remember, though, the Raiders, just look at their division at the end. You know what I mean? You kind of have to,
But they have good names.
They have good names, but
they're worse than Denver.
It was really, it's really you have to look at the situation they're in the beginning of the season. They have good names, but still it's kind of
their defense really.
It's just it was just kind of written in the stars that they just weren't going to have a good season, and it's really not completely on them, but still.
You know how funny it'd be if Aaron Rodgers was traded to Las Vegas?
That would be so.
Is that even
weird.
possible?
I hope not.
You know why he would do it?
I hope not.
Because they'd have more money in Vegas. That's the only reason why he's going there. That's the only reason why he's going to
That
Vegas.
is very true. That is very true. I have no idea.
Rodgers is all about the money.
Hey,
discount double check.
I don't hate it.
Trying to save his money.
I really don't hate it. You see the Aaron Rodgers interview that he had with the dude from Barstool?
Yes.
Yeah, that was so funny.
And Sean McVay. I saw that one.
Like, man, he was like, he asked Aaron Rodgers, like, hey, you know what insurance is? You know what I mean? Like, what's your insurance company? And he was just like, oh, State Farm, Jake from State Farm, blah, 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 blah. So you would describe insurance as picking up, quarterback in the first round, right? You know what I mean? That was so hilarious to me.
He said,
so
yes.
Yes, he just looked at him. Oh, his face killed me.
If I was the Packers, I would have let Jordan Love stay, Devontae stay, and I would have shipped Rodgers.
That's an argument.
You say that again?
I'm shipping Rodgers. He's a dime. He's old. He's won one ring.
I would have traded him too.
Listen, I ain't mad. I don't know if I completely agree with that, but still, I don't really hate that decision.
You know what?
If they would have went that way, I wouldn't have been mad.
At least one first-round pick.
That's true. You would have get at least one first-round pick.
I want to rephrase that.
Like all pieces and stuff. You could probably like build together at least a winning season. With
no, I get it.
Guy.
I would rephrase it though. If I was Aaron Rodgers, I would want out. But if I was Green Bay, that's the tough part. Because this organization is just so whack ball.
Yeah.
What I want, Aaron gives me the better chance to win. I mean, Devontae's not having the best of luck either. So
yeah.
Interesting.
While we're on the Packers, real quick, shout out to Darnell Savage. I'll be on 2K later.
Thanks.
I'll be playing 2K with Darnell.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him.
Dolphins and Bears.
The Bears.
Justin Fields is a dog. He's really showing not just Chicago fans, but NFL fans like, hey, I'm here. Mm-hmm. I'm a good quarterback.
This is the. Is it fair to call this a breakout game for him? Is it fair? Because I feel like
I wouldn't say so because he's had a few good games like this.
He's had a few good games, but not like most like rushing yards from a QB in the Super Bowl era.
You're not wrong.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Throwing for 3 TDs, good.
If this is the game that gets him over the hump to be a different tier on the quarterback list, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not like. I would call this somewhat of a breakout game for him. You know what I mean? This is just a fantastic all-time game for him. Unfortunately, he couldn't get out the win. That's tough. But I do think Justin Fields is like the future for the Bears and stuff like that. They should be confident in him and start building pieces. Again, I don't like to trace Claypool, I don't like that, but
that's a little too much there.
That's what they're trying to They got Darnell Mooney. They got I can't remember their other receiver, but they're trying to get that big receiver. They're trying to keep Mooney in the slot, and they're just you can definitely tell what they're trying to do is they're trying to build what they've got set down already.
Yeah, for sure.
Not wrong.
They need to stay on their defense too. They need to keep building that defense.
Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet, the tight end.
Yeah.
He went to Notre Dame.
He's nice. He's real nice. I like him.
Oh, the reunion.
The reunion.
The Hawks and Cardinals. Cardinals are weird. If you were to ask me to rate on a scale of 1 to 5 the list of the probability of Cliff Kingsbury being fired, it's at a solid 4 right now. I don't know how you're messing up. Oh, I coached Mahomes in college. That's what I love to hear when people say that.
He coached Murray in college too. Right?
Did he? Was he at Oklahoma?
He was. Wait.
I thought because they traveled from college to the NFL, I feel like together, because Kingsbury made the decision to go to the NFL right after Kyler Murray actually declined his MLB draft pick.
Yeah. I don't think he was with them because Kyler was in Oklahoma. Kingsbury was in Texas Tech.
It'd be crazy.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Whatever their little bromance going on is, it's not resulting in wins. That's the thing.
It's not. And they have multiple weapons over there. They got Rondell Moore, who's a fast stud. Shout out to Hollywood Brown on the IR, killing me in fantasy, dog.
Dog.
But he was a great one until
they have so many options. So many. I mean, you didn't even mention DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, exactly. That's just end of the list. That's how so many weapons they have throwing wise that Kyler Murray has, and I don't know. I feel like the shenanigans at the beginning of the season kind of just put a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and any real togetherness that they had when it comes to the quarterback and the players in the front office and everything kind of killed. I'm not gonna lie to you, because you shouldn't just because they didn't need to add that addendum to his contract.
Yeah.
They did that and they took it away, but still they did that just to make a statement, just to get back. That's childish. Don't do that as a front office. You're 46.
No, I get it. No.
But yeah, so I don't know. The Cardinals are kind of an enigma to me. I don't know what's happening when it comes to like the running back situation because Connor just come back. So like, you know, he had a solid game like for his first like return, but still like, you know, you want to have like some consistency running and stuff and a real threat. You don't want to have just Kyler Murray just scurrying around all the time.
Absolutely.
But, you know,
he's fast. He can do it.
But we'll see. I mean, like the Cardinals, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what to do.
I think the Seahawks are a decent team. They just got to find out like what they're going to be doing here in the next year or two. They got to build an identity on some type of ball because if not,
Seahawks?
Because if not, DK's out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'll stay very long.
I don't know, man.
He's a win type of person.
It seems to me that Geno's the answer. I mean, why would you not, really? I mean, there's no reason to give up on him.
How old is he?
32.
For the time being?
Yeah.
Give him a small contract. He deserves that. He deserves to run it back again.
I would keep him back up. Maybe draft somebody in the second round or something.
Drew Lock's not gonna do anything.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely not.
Shoot, I mean, like when it comes to leadership, like as a player and as a person, Geno Smith is probably one of the best quarterback leaders that you can have.
He's the kind of guy that would come talk to your high school.
Exactly, he would come talk. Man, like dude, like I just wish, man, I wish I had a dad like Geno. Like man, shout out my dad, but like Geno as a dad, he probably just like Rex leader. He just like
come on, sport, son. Come on.
Sit up, you got it. You know, I need you. Like you got it.
Don't write back. Put that pencil down.
Exactly. But yeah, so like, I mean, like Geno, what he means for this team is huge. I feel like he's like the lead. He's like the symbol of this team. Just a person who, down but not out. Everybody doubted the Seahawks going into the season, including myself, and I feel like everybody here at the station.
Absolutely did.
They were like, man, they might not win a game this season. You know what I mean? Look at them. They're 6-3.
This has actually been a super weird year for football. Super weird year.
Facts. I feel like it's weird for like both major sports in the in the country because like the NBA, like you have all these like older players and stuff. They just are like they don't look the same. They dominated for the last like 15 years. It felt like, and now it's looking like that for the NFL too. It's just like all these players that all these teams that you're used to hearing their names over and over again, and they not in the really discussion no more, and it's all the new cast that's coming up and stuff.
As they should be.
So in new cat, let's talk about Kenneth Walker III.
Oh,
nice
dog.
Nice.
He wasn't even doing all that hot until really, unfortunately, when Shot Penny went out, and now he's taking the key and ran with it.
Nice.
He's just doing his thing.
109 yards, averaging 4.2.
He's what they wanted. I mean, we haven't seen this much production from the running back in Seattle since Marshawn.
And like his name's already in like the same sentence as Marshawn. That's how nice he's been looking.
He's been that good in his time playing. So
we'll see what we have from them. Just with the Seahawks and stuff, I think this is a good starting point.
A good starting point. That's what I was
This game disappointing. They're just boring. Bucks and Rams. They're just not good, and it's just like, weird. Man. Like, why are they not good? Probably because one of them has a quarterback that thinks he's, all that. He has the weapons. He's just not using them. And then the Bucks have, the quarterback who's like 47, 48, 46, really, I think. He might be 45. I don't know. Like, he secretly may be 30. I don't know anymore. Tom Brady, this is weird. He just comes back. I hate Tom
Brady as a Colts fan, but he can play.
He can play. Respect, absolutely.
Man.
I mean, just both teams aren't where they should be. If you were to ask me if these are the two teams that won the Super Bowl last, I wouldn't believe you because they're just it's weird.
I feel like they're both two teams also that just reloaded from last season. They brought on some new guys like Allen Robinson with the Rams. I brought Julio over to the Buccaneers. They had
Julio doesn't even play.
Yeah,
I don't think he's played like more than 5 games the last 3 years.
He never touches the field in the red zone. That is one dude I'm making sure that's on my field in the red zone. I'm throwing him a nice little fade.
He's just not.
I don't get it.
He never gets any attention.
So weird. It's so strange. And like, going to it, like the Bucks. Honestly, Tom Brady shouldn't be in the NFL right now.
He shouldn't be in the NBA.
I sure as heck not in the NBA. But sure,
cost him and his wife coming back.
Exactly. Like, bro, are you really going? You gonna lose your whole wife and kids over a 4-5 record for the Buccaneers? I don't know if that's a good business decision, dog. But hey, I mean, like the game, be a competitor. I mean, he out here. But
they'll figure it out.
Maybe.
He'll need this year's pay, though. I tell you that.
Exactly.
The divorce, he's gonna need this year's pay.
Woo, man. So again, I have no clue when it comes to the Bucks. It's just at this point, like, it's either going to be sink or swim, from this point on with them. And it's dang near with the Rams. I feel like they're already sinking.
Facts.
And I don't know where to make out of it, but I just feel like with this Rams team, they need to have some nice young legs on their roster.
They need a ground game.
They need a ground game would be very, very nice.
Take some pressure off Matthew Stafford. Open up the throwing game. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows Matthew Stafford's going to come out and try to throw 30, 40 times.
Shit.
Mm-hmm. So, it's just absolutely ridiculous to me. But, again, the Rams, they can't get those young legs because they don't got no picks. It's just kind of what do y'all do?
True.
So,
transition. We got 2 more games here, then talk about a little bit more stuff here. Chiefs, Titans. Ryan Tannehill kind of shows, I don't know if this is a good or a bad sign, but Malik Willis, he just hasn't been playing all that good. He only went 5 for 16 on his passing attempts.
Disgusting.
Malik Willis, the quarterback.
Did he get quarterback snaps, or did he come in that stupid?
He was doing it all.
No, he was out there.
It was Derrick Henry, really, who led this team.
He was the quarterback. He was the quarterback. He was the running back. He was the receiver. He was just the entire offense for the Titans, and almost won it. Shout out to Derrick Henry, man. Nobody like him.
There was only 5 catches, of course, this whole time. This looked like a high school football game because it was all running.
Yeah.
There was 5 catches in that whole
game for the Titans. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
He showed out a little bit. Malik did on some passes, but
I feel like you can really ground and pound those AFC West teams. They're just not ready. They've all been preparing and building teams up for Josh Allen, Mahomes, Russell Wilson. They got their secondaries all built up. You come to teams like that, you need to run the ball.
Run through their throat for sure.
Because then all of the teams in our division, they got big old D linemen. You know what I'm saying? So it's every time we play somebody in our division, that ball does not hit the ground as many times as it goes through the air.
Question: is this the first game that Malik Willis has got to start?
He played last week as well.
Last week against
Houston.
Texans? Yeah.
Yep. He didn't do all that good either.
It's interesting. At least they
So what's going on with Tannehill? Or they just pull him?
He's just a little hurt, banged up. They just don't want to risk it, I guess. He'll be all right. He's the starting quarterback. Absolutely.
Derrick Henry is just such a. Sometimes I just look at Derrick Henry stats. They the equivalent to Will Chamberlain stats.
You're not wrong.
They're just what is happening? It's just the fact that they win some of these games with a quarterback throwing for 55 yards and the interception that threw the ball 10 times. It's just what? How do you win that game? It's amazing. It's amazing. Shout out to him.
We touched on it a little bit about the Ravens. Lamar, this man needs to be paid. He's just outstanding the way that he can just play with the best. He can easily run the ball. He's just been really working on his passing game in the NFL. He's translated it well. He's just a good quarterback. The Saints, on the other hand, they are a complete dumpster fire.
Talk to me.
It's the injuries, man.
Thank you.
Just yesterday, we had Eric McCoy, Pete Werner. That's just 2 names that went. Marcus Davenport was another one. Thomas is out for the season. Haven't seen Jarvis Landry in almost 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara missed a few times. He might even miss more depending on how this court case goes with him.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Mark Ingram's gone. He doesn't do much anyway when he's on the field. Jawan Johnson, our only bright spot. He scored a touchdown in the last 3 games. No one cares because we're down 40.
Yeah, exactly.
The defense, Lattimore, I think still, personally, when he's healthy, the best cornerback in the NFL, and a lot of people will agree on that. And he's just not been healthy. Our secondary's banged up. We have to go to, the trainer for a defensive back at this point.
Man.
The only bright spots is really our D-line and our linebackers. And now we have two players I just named injured.
Yeah, the Saints is just kind of tough. You can't really get mad at the Saints.
They're in a Colts position.
Exactly.
They are.
No identity.
No identity. They just kind of
we have one.
Motions.
It's in the trash can because we're all injured.
Yeah,
they're in the hospital.
They're in the hospital. That's right.
Go to Union Health down the street. That's where they're at.
Saying, bro, that gun ain't fixing them up like it should.
And now Andy Dalton. Personally, I don't think Dalton's been playing that bad until yesterday. I don't know if Jameis will get the start. Probably deserves it.
He's just been hurt.
He's healthy now.
He played through. He's healthy now.
Yeah,
he's
been healthy. He was healthy last week.
Why is he not playing?
They want to go with Dalton.
What?
Joe,
Why?
I'm so so lost just the way you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Am I confused? Are we not looking at the games?
That's what I'm saying.
Or is he just killing it in practice? What's going on?
I'll be playing Jameis.
Oh man, of course I would be playing
I don't know.
Like,
I just don't get it.
I mean, it's not like Jameis is like, the second coming of, Tom Brady or anything. Like, I'm just saying, like,
it'll be time to draft this season for you.
We should have done it 3 years ago, and we didn't.
Probably.
We didn't plan well for Breeze being gone. I figured. I think we just figured that he would never go. So, sort of like
exactly. He just stayed.
Sort of like Sean Payton.
Man, he's just a straight statue outside. Tragic.
One more thing on NFL news that has nothing to do with any team per se, more of a player. He's healthy. Odell Beckham Jr. I need to know, guys. Where is he? He's gonna be healthy this weekend. I don't think he'll play this weekend, depending on how he gets signed. He might play in a few weeks. Where's he gonna go?
If he's wanting money, he's going to Dallas.
I think if he wants to win,
he's going to New York.
I'm saying Dallas.
I like how you.
I think Dallas.
I like how you think.
Because he's not talking to like so there's been reports about like which teams he's talking to. So when they came out about Green Bay, they're like, oh, he's talking to Rodgers. When he's coming about Cowboys, he's talking to Jerry Jones. But when it comes out that he's talking about the Giants, he's talking to like their head coach, their GM. Like he's got to connect. He's talking about football with them. I think when he talks to like these other teams, he's talking more of like a money thing because he knows what he's gonna get out of New York. And the way New York's been playing right now, they're just missing a pretty good wide receiver. I mean
it would be kind of weird to see him go back after how it ended.
But it feels
it
like
ended bad.
It ended bad, but like I feel like the organization has moved past that at this point.
I'd hope.
Because at this point, does any of that affect you right now? Because right now you're a winning organization. Like if he was losing, maybe it'll be some type of bad taste in the mouth. But at the same time, it's just kind of like you got Saquon back. You know what I mean? Daniel Jones is looking solid. You know what I mean? You have a defense that is
can help you win games.
Can help you win games. Like if you just put him right back in the position where he's familiar with the organization, familiar with people, and familiar with the team, I feel like that's a perfect fit.
I think it just makes more sense in Dallas's way because they have the quarterback. I mean, I would rather play for Dak Prescott than Daniel Jones. You have other good receivers. I mean, the best New York receiver got hurt earlier this year, and they still are somehow pulling it out.
It's not a bad option either, for sure. It's not a bad option.
I mean,
whatsoever.
It just makes more sense. If I'm OBJ, I'm heading to Dallas. I'm calling Jerry Jones.
They got the defense that won a Super Bowl.
They have the best defense in the NFL.
Micah Parsons is an amazing individual. And
why would why? It just
every
on the
interception or like turnover he's had has always went for 6 in the NFL. He's never had.
You're lying. That's an actual stat.
He's never had an interception or a fumble recovery that has not went for 6.
As you say that now, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, you might have just jinxed it. It's always the commentator.
We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, this person has not missed a free throw in 8 games.
I don't know how many times I've done the announcer's jinx with a kick. Every
time. It's so funny.
I like to see. I don't think he's going to go to the Rams. I mean, at this point, that's kind of
I would have
that's done.
This Rams team.
OJ likes these things called rings, and he'll do whatever it takes to go find.
Buffalo's interesting.
Buffalo's.
Kansas City was that an option? I don't think the 49ers were one.
They didn't have enough money to pay him.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to you want money, you want rings. I think Dallas can give him both.
Fair. Very fair.
So
I just kind of want to see the reunion again. I'm not going to lie. I want to see 1-3 back. I want to see 1-3.
That'd be cool.
I think he might also look for long-time commitment, too, honestly. And I think one of the things with...
I think Dallas, you could get that, though.
They got to pay a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I feel like Dallas would be the team that just is kind of like...
Jerry Jones will help.
Yeah.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah, Jerry will. I'll tell you.
Fair.
Well, that does it for the NFL. Mm-hmm. I mean, the only real thing I have on topic for the discussion of NBA, unless you have something, Joe, is really this whole thing with going on with Kyrie Irving.
It's a weird situation.
I
feel like a lot of the stuff with Kyrie is more like a symptom of what happened the last couple of seasons. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if he would have did all of this stuff And, like, you know, he's just been consistent, you know, maybe had an injury here or there. But just been, like, a normal, like, star NBA player. That, like, you know, like, the front office wouldn't be, like, on him like this. But, like, combined with, like, you know, the, you know, COVID stuff, combined with the stuff when it comes to the, you know, when January 6th happened, and then, like, he just left from the team for, like, 2 weeks for, like, no reason. Didn't contact anybody.
Oh, he has just been going on and on.
You know, and then
what has happened?
And now this season, we're not even 10 games into the season, and it's already something else. It's just kind of like, and they just paid him, so it's just kind of like.
I'm a huge Kyrie Irving fan. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've been watching him since.
He's got game.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I've been watching him forever. He's got game. And another thing I love about him is he's always gonna speak his mind, no matter where he's at or who he is talking to. He does not care whatsoever. So when the NBA decides to keep, like, suspending him, like, he got suspended because he quoted out a tweet from 20 years ago. There was a dude who wrote a book who's leading a movement right now. He wrote a book, and Kyrie quoted out of that and tweeted it. The Brooklyn Nets got a hold of it, the NBA got a hold of it, and now they're like, well, you need to go and apologize to this community, write a paper, donate $1 million to this community, this, that, and another.
The 6 things is apologize and condemn the film he promoted, make a $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes, complete some sensitivity training, complete some anti-Semitism training, meet with the Anti-Defamation League and Jewish leaders, and then finally meet with his the Brooklyn Nets owner, Josiah, and to demonstrate an understanding of the situation. So, I mean,
what happened to freedom of speech?
Yeah, I mean, for my thing is like, I feel like what he, like, promoted, I don't think he actually, like, knew, like, the context of, like, the entire film.
That's the word, promoted. When he got the 35-minute argument with a dude, or, like, with a sports media person who asked him, because he kept using the word promoted. Yeah. And you can see in the video, he's like, promoting what, though? Yeah. I'm not promoting it. I'm just simply tweeting as if one of us was tweeting.
The link that he, like, sent out actually had, you know, the buy now thing in the actual, like,
I don't think Kyrie even knew.
I don't think he knew. I think that was more like, I feel like, I don't think he was, like, telling people, like, you know, buy the book or whatever. But, you know, if you're, you know, famous superstar athlete with all these impressionable fans, and then, like, you know, you had all that stuff going on during COVID and everything, and I feel like it's when it's all of this combined, you know, just, like, the responsibility of that is just kind of like, ugh. And plus in the film they had, like, Alex Jones in it and stuff like that, so it's kind of like, so it's kind of like,
that's what they kept asking. You promoting Alex Jones?
You know what I mean?
He goes, I'm just literally tweeting out something.
And I don't think he is. I don't think he's, like, promoting that or anything. I just think that, you know, just, you know, an excerpt from the film that, you know, he might have agreed with. And, you know, he didn't really mean to, like, have that, you know, kind of hate behind that. But, you know, when you bring in attention to a film like that, you know, does have those, you know, definitely negative, you know, like, if I quote, like, something from, like, you know, a book that, like, I, you know, agree with or whatever, and it was written by somebody who, like, you know, did a bunch of, like, heinous stuff. It doesn't matter, like, what that quote is, but it's still attached to that kind of heinous person.
And if you're attaching yourself with that, then it's a bad light.
Yeah, the optics are just bad. You know what I mean? So
Kyrie just has to. I mean, it's tough.
It's tough. He's just going to speak his mind and stuff, and to a certain extent, I can respect that. But, like, you know, when you're you know, part of an organization and stuff, and you represent more than just yourself in that situation, I feel like we should have a little bit more responsibility over, like, the stuff that we, you know, tweet out and stuff. And it's not saying you can't say those things, but, you know, you just have to remember, you know, you do have consequences behind, like, what you say. And plus, you know, there's so many minds that, you know, value your opinion. You know, they want to know your opinion, and they, you know, think highly of it. So
this situation definitely has opened my eyes to, like, professional sports and what people and how people are controlling, you know.
100%.
Like, you see people are, like, maybe a guy tweets out, some random 7th, 8th man, you know, tweets out something on Twitter. Like,
nobody care.
Did he even want to do that, or did somebody provoke him to do that? Like,
exactly.
It's interesting for sure.
For sure. But I really do hope, like, honestly, this might be a situation where Kyrie is going to struggle getting, like, actual, like, a roster spot. And I don't think it's because people, a lot of teams don't want to have his talents on the roster. It's just like basically what happened when it went to all the way from when he left the Cavs. You know what I mean? In the Celtics and everything. Yes. What he did, not just saying like, his political views or, what he's done when it comes to like COVID and all that other stuff, but just kind of like how he kind of threw the front office under the bus and like, said one thing, did the next, and then just went all the way over to another team and then did the exact same thing and then to even a more like national extent. I don't think.
It's pretty clear he doesn't even want to be here.
He threw a fit Boston.
Yeah, he threw a fit.
I don't know what happened to this man, but something is going on.
I think he just I think once you have like the influence and like kind of had like that kind of stage and like that kind of like
the players never talked to him about him bad.
No, nobody has said anything
negative.
Front office. For sure. And it's like. It's just tough, and I don't think.
In the world of social media, anything can come back. Anything like this can come back at you. Anything like people have an easier way to figure all this stuff out.
Exactly.
It's unfortunate the communication wasn't there for Kyrie.
Exactly.
He'll have to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, words have consequences.
Will this end his basketball career? Personally, I don't think so. It's tough to say.
I don't know. It's tough
close.
Because remember when like they were trying to trade Kyrie, like this past
and Kevin Durant wanted out.
And Kevin Durant wanted out, and like Kyrie, like they were fielding like requests like who wants Kyrie, and like nobody but the Lakers just shot their hand up, and it was just kind of like
you can always count the Lakers with throw a hand up.
Exactly, they're always just
Kyrie with old. The Lakers are interesting.
That's a whole.
That's a whole other thing. That's for another day.
But yeah.
I think this is a great episode, guys.
Fantastic episode.
Absolutely, Colin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about this whole thing?
I really love talking about sports. I can get in here and probably go for a couple more hours if I had some coffee.
Same, bro.
If I had a few more, if I didn't have plans already, I would definitely stick around, but a little bit longer. But
Jim calling Joe right now.
Jim's calling Joe.
Jim calling Joe.
Shopping's calling me. Birthday shopping.
Ooh, okay. For you or for somebody else? Because I know your birthday coming up.
Free money. Gotta use it.
Fair. I wish I was in your shoes.
Finna hit the gym too. Where you going? Planet Fitness?
Yeah, I always go to Planet Fitness.
Hell yeah.
It's just because like the one ISU and it's just like the weight section is kind of like limited, in the recreation.
Body or waiting in line.
Here's the thing.
10 reps.
Exactly. And then,
I'm cool.
It's just like, bro, I don't want to deal with that. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
This is the after show.
Planet Fitness. I way much prefer it over the rec. I just don't have time to really make it over to Planet Fitness enough and pay that.
That's true. Yeah,
I used to pay a $25 with the black card.
Oh, with the black card.
It was nice though. But the $10 a month, I might have to consider it over. Does anybody know if the rec's open during winter break?
That's a great question.
I need to know.
Yes, because the student employment people have to have jobs to work.
You're right. I know what I'm doing. Gym. Me and Jim have some personal things to get over.
Exactly. Kobe's going to come back, spring semester.
What up, guys? No, but for real, guys.
This is going to be whole WWE player. Wrestler.
Player?
Wrestler. Sorry. Excuse me. I offended a WWE fan. My bad. Like, dang.
Oh,
I used to be on there.
Okay.
You just get into
it. Brother. Joe, as always, thank you so much for being on these with me. You kill it. You're like my partner in crime. Couldn't do it without you.
Gruesome, man.
Colin, thank you so much for being on your first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to get you back. Don't go anywhere, guys. Follow all of our social medias at WZIS-FM. You can see this every Tuesday between 3:30 and 5 o'clock, and then on Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. And, hey, one thing that you don't know that you probably should know, we also broadcast sports here. So every time there's a home game, men's and women's basketball coming up, only one football game left, unfortunately, at the Holman Center Memorial Stadium. We'll have that broadcast, and we'll have every home game along with me and Joe hitting the road to Purdue. That should be a lot of fun. So better stick to the grind. You better come through. If you want to be part of it just like Colin, he showed up eventually. He came through one day. You can do the same thing. Third floor Dreiser Hall. It's a lot of fun. Any more last words and final thoughts before we get on out of here, boys?
Colin?
Tank Colts.
Tank Colts.
Go Pacers.
Go Pacers. Have to agree with you. Saints, you're doing some things I don't like. You're messing with my head. I don't like it. For Joe, for Colin, and for myself, Coby Clark, everyone have a great rest of your night. Take care, and we'll see you next time.